Let's talk about the Miami Grand Prix because there was plenty of drama. Oscar Piastri got the win over Lando Norris. Max Verstappen was overtaken by both drivers as well. There's been some interesting comments after that. Lewis Hamilton as well was involved with some drama with his own team. Piers Prior joins us, talkSPORT F1 reporter. How you doing, Piers?
Hi, Piers.
Good, thanks. Ollie, Charlie, how are you?
Yeah, very, very well, thank you.
All good, thanks. Just before we get going, would you go for Birkenstocks, Crocs or sliders? What kind of shoe are you going for?
All day long Birkenstocks.
Do you know what? I think sliders would be the one, but my dad wore sliders before they were cool, so therefore I can't bring myself to
your dad's ruined them.
So flips it is for me.
Well, fair enough.
Nice,
what was it? Flips are for cool dudes.
There we are, very
well, that's clearly wrong then.
Talk to me about this race, though, and I guess we'll start with Verstappen being overtaken because there's
the
been
first corner, wasn't it?
Yeah,
first shenanigans.
First corner. I think it was Lando Norris saying that he's maybe almost trying a bit too hard. What did you make of that?
The first lap was dramatic. I think we all knew it was going to be a bit touchy. And when Norris tried to go around the outside of Verstappen, he was always going to get shoved off. We know Max has said previously that no one ever goes around the outside of me. And Norris put it plainly. He said, when you're trying to overtake Max, sometimes it's drop in or crash, and unfortunately this time Norris had to drop in and they ended up both losing positions. So it's one of those where normally I actually don't like the way Verstappen goes about the racing. I think sometimes he crosses the line. I think this time actually he was just on the line, in my opinion. I think the rules he literally went to the edge of the rules but didn't go any further, and it was just unfortunate for Norris. But ultimately it hurt Norris in the long run. Verstappen, I don't think he would have finished much higher anyway because he didn't have the pace yesterday of the McLarens.
Yeah, incredible weekend for McLaren. It's 84 points available and they got 84 points. 1-2. Piastri is showing himself to be absolutely world-class driver, isn't he?
Absolutely, no doubt. I think the rumble in the jungle has been that he's a match for Norris, but we haven't really seen him in a proper championship challenge. And Norris got the better of him more often than not last year. But he's just been building and building the last couple of years, and this year he's just turned up. It just seems like nothing can faze him. Going wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen, fine, no bother. You know, he actually put one over on Max, and there's not many drivers in motorsport that can say they've done that. And it allowed that quick manoeuvre past Verstappen, allowed him to get the win in the end, because that buffer is what he needed on a weekend where actually Norris was slightly faster, I think, on pace.
And it might have been even a bigger gap if there was no virtual safety car. That helped a few drivers out, I thought.
Yeah, it helped some, hindered others. Norris was the main beneficiary of the safety car. We had a couple of drivers stopping due to engine issues unrelated to the front end of the field, but that basically meant the safety car came out. Some drivers had already done their pit stop, and when you stop under the safety car, you lose less time. Effectively, you gain time in the race. Russell got past Verstappen in all that, so he managed to get a podium, and he said it himself on a day where, you know, realistically, potentially he wouldn't have got one otherwise, but that is the way the cookie crumbles. Verstappen lost out and another number of other drivers as well, so that shook things up. It was quite a good race actually, all in all. A lot of people were potentially thinking it was going to be a bit boring with McLaren's potentially romping away, and they did eventually, but it was a lot went on in the first 2/3 at least.
Yeah, Piers, talk to me about Lewis Hamilton as well, because he wasn't very happy with his own team. What happened there?
No, typically British sarcasm over the radio. If anyone was listening to the radio,
if Ferrari didn't know what they'd got, they know now.
Oh God, yeah. I think he's been bedding in, isn't he? He's been playing it nice, and then now it's, you know, right. They've been together a little while. The real truth comes out. But yeah, he was understandably, I think, frustrated over the team radio, because he had, due to the pit stops and the way the tyre strategies were, ended up behind Leclerc, his teammate, had quicker tyres on. The team took three laps basically to decide to let Hamilton through, by which time his tyres had basically seen their best. The idea of which would have been to catch Antonelli ahead of the Ferraris. They couldn't do that, and then they swapped back, so effectively kind of just hindered their own races due to their indecision. So I think Ferrari really need to be on the ball, and it's simple really. Like, they were on different strategies from lap one, from the race start. So Ferrari knew there was a chance that they could have come together on circuit. They should have had a plan in place, and they didn't, clearly.
Yeah, what was it he said down the radio?
He said, take your time, make a cup of tea or something, didn't he?
Yeah, take a tea
Yeah,
break.
he did. That was so funny.
That is very good, actually, from Hamilton. Piers, thank you very much indeed for your time. Piers Prior
Piers.
there. Oh, we should start maybe doing that with, sometimes producer Sean's a bit late with...
Wow. If you speak to people like that, Ollie, when you're off air, I've seen you like that, very like that. With people.
No, I've done a Hamilton. I'm bedding myself in.
Yes, I want a cup of tea.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.